You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Coming to you live from Newstown, where every little thing happens is newsworthy. Every household has its own broadcaster butler to do chores and write stories about the family. Stories are then funneled to the very top, where editors and industry heads rule out most of them for evening news. In this town, everything is newsworthy, but none of it is ready for us on Interdimensional RSS. The Interdimensional.
The Interdimensional unofficial Rick and Morty podcast. That's right. You were doing so well. You were doing so well, Brandon.
The interdimensional, unofficial, interdimensional.
The unofficial, interdimensional, unofficial. Hello, everybody. I'm Travis.
Hey, everybody. I'm Brandon, and welcome to the show where we talk about Rick and Morty things and Rick and Morty things adjacent to Rick and Morty things. And sometimes we don't even talk about Rick and Morty stuff. Sometimes we have interviews. Sometimes we just talk about like movies. Cool, different things.
Brandon's feeling loose tonight, everybody. So if you wanna keep up with the fun, both on social media as well as live, there are many ways that you can do that. Of course, follow us over on social media. On Twitter, we're at Rick and Morty Pod. Facebook.com/Rick and Morty Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Rick and Morty Podcast. And send us an email, rickandmortypodcast@gmail.com, if you want to get in touch with us. Also find us all over the web on Reddit, rickandmorty.reddit.com, or our subreddit, rickandmortypodcast.reddit.com, or go to our website, rickandmortypod.com, for all of our episodes. We're streaming live on Twitch. You can see what we're drinking. You can see what shirts we're wearing if you go to twitch.tv/apathetic enthusiasm, or if you missed the live stream because you're not a subscriber, you're not following over there, head over to youtube.com/apathetic enthusiasm, where you can get recorded video of all of our episodes. You can like and subscribe right over there. Big thanks to all the patrons over at patreon.com/apathetic enthusiasm who are supporting the show monthly. Thank you for your continued support, your continued contributions. Couldn't do it without you. You are amazing. Brandon, we're here. We're doing it.
We are.
It's pertinent. It's happening.
It is. We are halfway there. The show must go on. The fans clamoring, Unity clamoring for content, and we're prepared. We're about prepared.
Flooding our inbox with comments and thoughts.
It's overwhelming in some sense of the word. Overwhelming.
I am whelmed. That's for sure. That is a definite thing. So without any further ado, let's get into our very first segment, which is one of my favorite segments. It's semi-pertinent news.
Semi-pertinent news. Semi-pertinent news.
Semi-pertinent. In an episode that is all news, some news isn't quite as newsworthy as other news, and that's the news we keep in semi-pertinent news. And our first story in this episode is, of course, Jessica Gao. She's created She-Hulk. The show is coming out soon. Yeah, that's right. If you have not seen this trailer, it is available now all over the internet for the new Disney Plus streaming series She-Hulk, part of the MCU canon. Brandon, what else can you tell us about it?
What can I tell you about it? Jessica Gao, she is one of the many Rick and Morty writers that has gone on to create stuff for the MCU, joining Michael Waldron, Jeff Loveness, doing the Ant-Man films,
Quantumania or whatever, right?
That's right. Waldron, he just did Multiverse of Madness, and he had done the Loki show. Did he do? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Whatever. He's part of those things. That's the important thing. Jessica Gao, she wrote the famous Pickle Rick episode. She is well known for Pickle Rick, and we knew she was going to be a star when we talked to her in DMs briefly before Adult Swim said we couldn't talk to people. So yeah, really excited for her. The premiere is August 17th. If you are a a Hulk or a She-Hulk or an MCU Hulk, any kind of Hulk fan, Hulk Smash, the musical, She-Hulk Smash.
Was that? Wasn't there an Avengers musical in like Hawkeye or something?
Yeah,
I want to see the whole thing.
I didn't watch it, but I was referencing the the episode where all the parasites are in there,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
There you go. Like Jerry Smash, like Jerry.
What did we learn? Something about, I don't know, something about feelings or something. I forget. It's been a while since I watched that episode. But
Mr. Beauregard. Oh no, that's like a hey,
I'm walking here.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Check out She-Hulk. Semi pertinent. What else we got? We got a lot of Reddit type news as our resident Reddit mod. I turn it over to you as the provider of all things Reddit news. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for giving me me this opportunity.
It's the least I could do.
As a Reddit subreddit moderator, I do have some pertinent news to that community, which is, hey, happy 10 years.
Wow,
10 years
decade.
For that community. Also multimillionaires as far as the followers of that subreddit.
Oh yeah, they've racked up the follows.
Racked
in the
racked.
Millions. It's
In the
riggedy
millions.
riggedy racked.
If we could get a penny from each one of those people. Just think about how
we should have a new tier on Patreon. That's just a penny for your Reddit follow, and and just have people that subscribe to the subreddit give us 1 penny.
What's interesting about that though, Travis? I joined this Patreon kind of meetup that was every week, and one of the things they talked about was not to have a dollar tier because Patreon takes basically $1 away. So you need to have at least a $2 tier. That way you're actually making money.
Split the diff, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
that was
patreon.com/apathetic enthusiasm for our new $2 tier. That's probably not a real thing. Don't go there. Or go there, support the show. Either way, we love you.
The other little bit of Reddit stuff is, of course, we have our Reddit post of the week, which is something that we do whenever we do an episode from time to time. This Reddit post of the week is from user Azeron21. The title of the post is "Meanwhile on Snake Planet." It received 15,000 upvotes. It has no reports, and it is a picture of a snake with, what is it, Uber Eats?
Yeah. He's got a little helmet on and a little Uber Eats crate tied to his back. Just a little snake, just Uber eating it, delivering your eats, delivering your household goods, whatever you need. Yeah, it's great.
Check this out, Travis. This is how you know it's good quality content. 483,000 total views, 97% upvote rate.
Solid. Gotta love that ratio. Gotta love it.
You gotta. Anyways, hey, shout out to Azeron21 for that post. As we all know, we have social media stuff. Dan Harmon used to be on Twitter. He dropped Twitter like a grease fire,
Like a
right?
bad habit.
And then poured water all over it. Said, "I'm out of this grease fire, and I'm gonna douse it with water." And which water, as we know, quenches the thirst of oil fire. Okay. Anyway, but so he went over to Instagram, and here's where we have our new segment, our new recurring segment for the last year and a half. It's the Dan Harmon Social Media Minute.
Dan Harmon. Social media.
Are you doing like Chariots of Fire? Is that what
No.
it is?
Originally, I was thinking about that hold music that's always really good. That doom, 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 doom.
From the Cisco phones?
I don't know what it is, but it's a straight banger, yo.
Oh, man,
all right, Dan Harmon Social Media Minute. I feel like we started doing It is the hold music. Thank you, Peace Among Ricks. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. Okay, so we've been doing we used to do Dan Harmon tweet of the week. That's how old this segment is. Don't throw any shade on it, Brandon. And we've got a highlight for you today from Dan Harmon's Instagram, posted all of 5 days ago. It is a picture of a public playlist on Spotify called Aesthetic, for those who appreciate a curated mood. The playlist has over 500,000 likes and 75 songs. It's 3 hours, 50 minutes long. But I don't share with you this post just for the picture. But what really takes it to the next level with a Dan Harmon social media minute is the caption, which is a script of a bit of dialogue that takes place in the not too distant future related to this image. For the sake of this, the Apathetic Enthusiasm players present to you now, for the first time ever, Dan Harmon's caption from the Aesthetic playlist post. I will be playing Rebecca, and Brandon will be playing Jennifer. Good morning, Jennifer. I'm currently keeping my feelings about class uncategorized.
I support your indecision.
Is it safe to exchange feelings about music?
Yes. Hold on. Student Jan... Oh, no. Oh, this... Okay.
Go for it.
Student Jan 2003 has digitally agreed to virtual hallway discussion of feelings about #music. Participation implies consent. Expectation of privacy expires unless renewed in 15. I'll start by listening to you.
OMG. I wanted to start by listening. You go first.
Okay. Right now, music-wise, I am so appreciating a curated mood.
OMG. I also appreciate a curated mood musically.
Do you think we'll always be best friends like this?
I swear to God, yes. Hi, Jennifer and Rebecca. Just flagging this conversation for potentially zealous religious conviction.
Oh.
Okay, whatever, bot.
Yeah, grow a soul.
Virtual hall monitor, wagging a finger and shaking my head, but smiling. Remember not to run. We literally don't know what running is. Go play chess against yourself.
Yeah, go away. What were we talking about?
Curated music appreciation.
Oh my God, yes! I appreciated curated music.
And scene. There you go, everyone.
So we needed to work out our parts. Remember, you're Rebecca.
Rebecca, yes. So there you go. There you have it. If you're not following Dan Harmon on Instagram, what are you doing with your life?
Oh, we did that.
Thank you for your consent to discuss curated music on this podcast.
That does remind me, though, Travis. Just as an aside, I went to see Steely Dan a couple weeks back, and to prepare for it, one of my old friends who I was going to the show with created a curated list of all the Steely Dan songs that have been on the tour playlist so far, and we were listening to that ahead of time. Also, Matt and I have a best friends playlist with a lot of like punk and System of a Down, and also Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland. It's very out of place, but yeah.
Man, I should get an invite to that playlist, right, Matt?
Yeah, best friends forever, Travis. And
I'm still waiting for the next episode of what's that? What's that Patreon perk that you stopped doing right after you started promoting it?
Yeah, it's on
random. I can't wait for the next installment on that playlist. Anyway, that is about gonna do it for semi-pertinent news. But before we get into the main thing, we have a quick ad from one of our sponsors.
Oh!
This interdimensional ad break is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
Yes, Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men and up to 8 million balls, perhaps more, perhaps less, depending, worldwide, who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code UNITY at manscaped.com.
That's right. We've got our own Performance Package 4.0 right here. It's arrived. It's got all kinds of fun stuff, including the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer. You get your Crop Preserver ball deodorant and a Crop Reviver toner when they need a little, reviving. Also, you get Performance Boxer briefs and this handy travel bag, all in one package. Brandon, what's your favorite item from the Performance Package?
I gotta say, this little bastard, this Weed Whacker, is treating my nose hair right. I'm about to turn 40, and I tell you what, this is a Rick send.
I am a hairy individual, and I think I've trimmed everything from the neck down. With a Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, it's wireless, waterproof. It's got an LED light. I love everything about it. And if you want to get this or anything else, head over to manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping if you use the code UNITY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping worldwide at manscaped.com if you use the code UNITY. Unlock your confidence. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
Manscaped. Get it. Demonize your balls.
All right. And now, with that out of the way, it is time for the main thing.
It's the main thing.
I love it. That's great. That's great. Very well done, Brandon.
Thanks.
That's right. It's time for the main thing. And I mean, we've done this before in the past. We are not reviewing a specific episode or interviewing a particular personality. Instead, what we were doing right now is covering some of the bigger news stories that happen to come out the day immediately following the release of our last episode. So we've been sitting on some of this news for a little bit. Some of this you may know about, but we want to break it down and discuss it a little bit further for you, which is why we're taking time here in the main thing to talk about these stories.
Oh yeah. It is a party of semi-port.
It's extremely important news.
Yeah, port. That's what we're going to change it to, is semi-portant. Especially if we're thinking of like a fine like a porterhouse steak.
Yeah.
We're talking about like
a port
like
wine.
Yeah.
It's funny, Brandon, when I talk to people in the real world that don't know me from podcasting, and I talk about this show, there are times when I like mention things like segment titles, like when I talk about listener suggestions and short outs, and they just look at me like, "Are you okay? Did you get hit in the head?" But we appreciate you, Unity, that you're sticking around and continuing to download these episodes, and all of the listeners. We love that you're here. But let's get into our very first story here in the main thing, and that is, of course, the return of in-person live Adult Swim Festival 2022. It's back. It's bigger than ever, and it's over on the East Coast. That's right. Sorry, LA. Everybody on the East Coast gets a turn this time. August 5th through 7th over in Philadelphia. Adult Swim Fest. Your tickets are available now. Go get them. Yeah.
They're back. And here's the thing: Run the Jewels is going to be there. Other musical people that I've never heard of are going to be there. It's going to be in Philly. I just watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the latest season. So I feel like I'm already right there, even if I can't be right there. Death Clock is going to be there. Some other cool folks, but this is semi-pertinent to us because Rick and Morty, of course, will be there. What kind of Adult Swim Fest exists without having some kind of Rick and Morty panel?
That's right.
Some kind of Rick and Morty panel. This year is no different. They are going to have a panel. The panel for Rick and Morty is going to be on the 6th, which is that Saturday.
That's right.
Also, I hear that I couldn't find the press release for it, but I know I have it in an email where it talks about that there is going to be an exclusive premiere for Rick and Morty content. Whether that is the new episode or not is yet to be seen. Maybe it's just a clip of the new episode and it doesn't premiere till October, November. We don't know yet, but we do know that there is going to be some kind of premiere there at the Adult Swim Fest.
Yeah, I'm somewhat concerned, right? Because it doesn't specifically say that the new episode premiering. I do have the press release up. I'm trying to. So it says, plus, the wait is finally over for Rick and Morty fans as a peak at the highly anticipated 6th season of the series will also debut exclusively during the festival. So it's season 6 content. If it's not a full episode, it's at least, at a minimum, I would think they're showing what do you call it? Storyboards. They'll show a Pickle Rick. Animatics, right? That's the word I was looking for. But at this point, I think the season, or at least some episodes, would be far enough along to where they could show some of that content. But yeah, I'm a tad worried because in the past, when Adult Swim has hosted these types of festivals, they also promote the fact that they are live streaming a lot of this content, right? So you'll be able to see some of the musical guests, some of the panels, I think, live stream over at Adult Swim, probably on Adult Swim's YouTube channel as well. But a lot of that exclusive content gets cut out of those. So if for some reason, like, they show the or the Rick and Morty panel on the live feed, and I remember they did this at Comic-Con a few years ago, pre-COVID, right? I was all geared up. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this live feed. I'm gonna check it all out. And then anytime they cut to like anything decent, they cut away from the panel and just had some dude like slinging T-shirts out on the Embarcadero, which is what us San Diegans call that part of town. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I would love to go to Philadelphia. Thankfully, you just recently moved to LA, just in time for them to move this event clear across the country. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, I hope to see some content, whatever it is. The bigger concern, I think, is not having a still definitive air date. I think I felt like the Pickle Rick or one of the episodes of season 3 were shown at that Comic-Con that year. And it wasn't just a sneak preview. I think it was like the actual episode, but I could be wrong about that. I would like to.
Yeah, and they've done it before where they've shown, they've like premiered an episode at like a fest or something the day before it was actually aired. So it's not a huge lead time. I would love if that was the case. Now that we're actually in June, we're looking ahead to August, the beginning of August, 2 months from now. If season 6 is here in 2 months, I can live with that. I can handle it. And so hopefully that is the case. Hopefully this is an indicator, we're reading the tea leaves here a little bit, that season 6 is on the way, and it's maybe only a couple of months away, with potentially a big premiere, or at least a preview and an announcement of a release date by the beginning of August.
And here's why it is okay if it gets pushed out, August, a little bit later, because Travis, some other announcements aside from Adult Swim Fest that came out recently is the Vindicators web series is coming out.
Yeah.
Which 5 to 10 minute shorts going directly to YouTube, the Adult Swim YouTube, from executive producers Sarah Carbiner and Erica Rosby, who wrote the original Vindicators episode way back in season 3. Justin Roiland in an interview said that the entire series will be basically a little longer than maybe a standard Rick and Morty episode. He talked about that last summer. I'm looking forward to it, seeing what's going on with the remaining Vindicators. I don't yet TBD to see if Rick and Morty are actually in it. We talked to Sarah and Erica last year after the announcement. We had them on an episode, and we talked about creating the Vindicators, working on the show, kind of a preview of what some of the things we're going for the web series. So that is content that we have for you, because we want to cover that in a little bit greater detail.
Yeah,
Maybe maybe we can break it into 10 episodes.
Hey, maybe the episodes will overlap, and we'll have to like do 2 episodes per show, because that's how we're gonna that's the best way for us to use our time. We'll cut down the time reviewing actual Rick and Morty episodes to get deep dives into the Vindicators stuff. If you want to check out our conversation with Sarah and Erica, it's episode 119. It was released in June of 2021. So go look that up. Great conversation with both of them, and really fun information about the Vindicators. So definitely recommend that. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what a Rick and Morty show would look like without Rick and Morty, and if they happen to show up, also a plus. So more
like
content is good content.
We're talking spin-offs. This is the first actual Rick and Morty spin-off where
Sure.
it's from an animated spin-off, not counting all the comics, where it is characters from the show. They have their own little mini show full time, and so I think that's cool. Good on Sarah and Erica for getting an opportunity. There is another spin-off though. There's been a couple other spin-offs, particularly by Takashi Sano, who directed the Rick and Morty versus Genocider and Summer Meets God, Rick Meets Evil anime, Rick and Morty anime shorts. This was announced as well, which was a 10-episode series by Takashi for Rick and Morty. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think of that, Travis?
I think this is a cool idea. This is one of the announcements that I didn't anticipate. I wasn't really tracking this at all. But those shorts, those episodes that we've gotten in online releases, they've also run them between episodes in the past over on Adult Swim. Really cool content, right? And I love seeing Rick and Morty, their hijinks, their adventures, right, portrayed in different art styles. Bushworld adventures not excluded from that, right? No, so I think this could be really cool. Potentially, maybe a little bit more serious spin on some aspects of Rick and Morty. But if you have not seen either of those previous shorts, and I mean they're not necessarily that short, like they're decent episodes, right, of content.
At 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that technically by Oscar standards is a short, sure. So, yeah, I think this is gonna be cool, and I think it's gonna be really interesting, maybe for some folks who aren't traditionally huge Rick and Morty fans, but really appreciate anime art styles and things like that. That it may be an opportunity for them to experience a little bit of the Rick and Morty universe through a different platform.
Yeah. One of the things about the anime is that it's not tied to the show at all. Like it is a reimagining, so to speak. It's not in the same universe. So Sano said in a statement, this is what he said: the multiverse straddling exploits of Rick and the gang pose challenges to the family bond, but they always rise to the occasion. It's such a life-affirming sight, and Jerry is no exception. He added, I'm honored to have been given the opportunity to tell a new story about this amazing family. I hope you enjoy their adventures. So it's standalone. It's not canonical.
Yeah, definitely not Rick and Morty canon. That's
and so
yeah.
And so if you have a loved one like Rick and Morty, where do I jump in? Here you go.
Here you go. This is the best way to become a fan of the series. It gives you everything you need to know exactly what Rick and Morty's all about.
Everything. Start with Summer Meets God. Go to Rick and Morty versus Genocider. So I'm looking forward to that. And to your point about different art styles, I love seeing like the fan art Fridays and the different things that are on Twitter and Instagram. Rick and Morty in different ways. There was one where they're like Rick and Morty in like classic animation style, like closer to like Cuphead that I retweeted.
Yeah.
Really cool. But this reminds me about some Easter eggs we've seen lately for Rick and Morty stuff.
Look at you just pressing right through. Look at you go. Your segues are so, like, normally you're the one that like crushes a segue and then calls it out, but I'm doing it for you, man. And not just because I want to keep talking about this topic. And it's, I think that our familiarization or our comfort with sort of like Western culture and the styles that we've sort of grown up and we're used to, I really appreciate that a lot of different big names are giving other artists from around the world the opportunity to tell these stories. Like, I think was it Star Wars Legends or something? What was it called? Is that series that came out on Disney Plus where they basically told a bunch of like Jedi type stories, Star Wars type stories, but used like anime art styles and things like that. I think that's really cool because it gives me a new perspective on a area of content that I feel like I know really well. Okay, yeah, Star Wars is Star Wars and it has a certain look and a certain feel and a certain tone. And then you release something like that and it's totally different. But it's still the same types of characters and world, right? And so I think doing that for Rick and Morty isn't just like, it's not a risk. I think it's just expanding what is possible. And I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of crossover fans that enjoy both. So at least in my office, I know there are. So I don't know. I think it's going to be good and it's going to be worth watching.
I think you're right. And I think there's been other things that are worth watching. Sorry, I was forcing a segue. I do want to say, Sabrina Mati, who was an artist on Rick and Morty for a while, she's doing some tattoo work now, and she's doing some apprentice tattoo ship. So I think I'm going to hit her up to just give one of her designs tattooed on my body somewhere, probably manscaped portion. Yeah, so just talking about like different art styles and just how many artists have their own style and their own unique flares. It fascinates me, and it's just something I'm so impressed by. But okay, going back into the segment, which was ruined earlier. There have been some Easter eggs out there for Rick and Morty lately. We saw Rick and Morty in Space Jam. That was a cameo, right? Not necessarily an Easter egg. More of an Easter egg here. Recently, Disney Plus released their, don't call it a reboot. It's Rescue Ranger. And there is the whole, so here's, by the way, if you're a Rick and Morty fan, I'm sorry for spoiling anything about Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, the movie. The plot about that movie is that the villain, which I won't say, is bootlegging these characters. It's kind of like a Roger Rabbit, where like they change some parts of the body to make them legally safe knockoffs characters.
Yes, exactly.
And so Chip and Dale, they go through a machine that tries to legally make them into different characters, and they go through this machine, and there's a little clip where they are different versions of themselves in different animated styles, like the Simpsons and Futurama, which is kind of Simpsons too. But there's a real quick flash where it is Chip and Dale as Rick and Morty in the Rick and Morty style. I happened to see that on Twitter. You didn't even realize it was an Easter egg at first.
Yeah, it went by so fast. When I was watching the movie, that I had missed it.
Yeah, very, very, very quick. Oh, there's a scene where they're at like a comic convention, and there's just a giant pickle Rick that shows up. real.
Yeah. That to me was the one that I definitely noticed. For our viewers, here's the Rick and Morty Chip and Dale versions from the Rescue Rangers. Sorry for spoilers.
I would like to get one of them tattooed on me. I would get one of them.
That's a weird crossover, but okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, so you have watched, speaking of Easter eggs, you have watched
Stranger Things season 4, more stranger, more thingier. The first half of Stranger Things season 4 is out and available now on Netflix. I think you can catch the first 7 episodes, but in early, I think it's like the second episode, a couple of the characters work in a video store, a family video, and they are looking for somebody in town who has the first name of Rick. And they figure out a great idea is to look up Ricks in the computer to figure out who has had, looking at their rental history, they may be able to figure out which Rick is the one that they're looking for, and then they can find his address. Well, in the list of various Ricks, about 2/3 of the way down, is none other than Rick Sanchez, the titular Rick of Rick and Morty. We never get to see his rental history, unfortunately. But Brandon, I wonder, what 80s hit film do you think Rick Sanchez would have rented from a family video?
I'll answer your question, but then I have a question for you.
Okay.
The question that I think he would have watched, the movie that he would have watched, I think maybe Time Bandits. I think he would have liked Time Bandits.
It's like a Gilliam fan.
Yeah,
All right.
I think we would have appreciated that. Yeah, or Altered States, or something maybe a Cronenberg. He might like a Videodrome.
I feel like he's just at home chilling, watching Cocoon.
Yeah, that's probably true too. You know, it's a 40th anniversary of The Thing. He might have checked out The Thing, which came out in 1982.
Yeah.
If you didn't know how old 40 years is.
That's right. And always remember, when returning your videotapes, be kind, rewind. A statement that is no longer used anywhere in popular culture.
No. So aside there, I was unpacking our stuff from moving recently, and we have a bunch of the old Disney VHS tapes.
The
still
clamshells, the plastic like clamshell ones. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep. So put those up on the shelf, and Chelsea, my wife, was like, "I wish we had a VHS player," but I happened to just find my Blu-ray VHS split that I set up there. We can do that all day. Watch the, Sword in the Stone and all those classic, the Black Cauldron.
You have Black Cauldron on VHS?
I don't know. I just was thinking of movies that were made by Disney.
Of all of the Disney classics, the Black Cauldron is like the 45th option for most Disney viewers.
The Disney sing-alongs, Ugly Bug Ball. Okay. Anyway, so what I wanted to say, I want to ask a question was, so you said they were looking in trying to find the history of the video rental. I thought it was like a high score on like an arcade machine. Is that not?
Incorrect. Yeah, it is an old computer, right? Like one of those like Apple II style, like kind of DOS interfaces. But yeah, that list that you see online, that is the list of Ricks in the video rental library. And they're going through one by one, looking at the rental history to try and figure out somebody's.
Yeah,
Saw it with my own eyes.
I don't believe you. So I'm going to go through the Reddit right now.
I watched the episode. Peace Among Ricks said they just watched the episode. They can back me up. Unity, let us know. Hit us up online on Twitter at Rick and Morty Pod. Who's right, Travis or the guy who hasn't watched Stranger Things?
I'm not saying I'm right.
I'm
just saying that you're wrong.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll watch the series eventually. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, next
all up, out at one time, maybe. I don't know.
Next up on our cavalcade of cookie goodness. What? This is our last bit of semi-pertinent news, and it's probably the most pertinent bit of news. Well, I guess the season 6 stuff was pretty pertinent.
Slightly more pertinent.
Heather Ann Campbell, one of the writers on Rick and Morty, also Whose Line Is Anyways. She's also on a podcast called Get Played, which I just listened to last month about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is by far the best Sonic the Hedgehog game. Whatever. Oh, actually, Sonic Mania is pretty good too. We can talk about that later on Apathetic Enthusiasm. She wrote on her Twitter that they are starting writing on season 8. So that is how far forward thinking they are, how far in the future they are. That they only 2 more seasons they have to write, and then they're done with the show. Because like what?
That's not true.
How many more seasons? Wait, no, 70 episodes. So at the time it was 3 seasons. So if they're doing like 10 episodes a season, that's like season 10.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Maybe you're right. Only 3 more to go. Season 8, 9, and 10. Practically done. The show's practically over. We're gonna have to move on to a new podcast topic after that. No, this is exciting. I mean, we've known for a long time that the writing has been well ahead of the release schedule now for Rick and Morty. It's good to know that they're working 2 years ahead, though. So, my curiosity comes with, season 7 has then apparently been in the can. I would say in the can. It's been written for a while now. But Rick and Morty is notorious for a lot of last minute changes, adjustments in production, a lot of rewrites. Dan, Justin seem to really really continuing to polish an episode. So what you see on the screen is often very, very different sometimes from the original scripts that get turned out. So in terms of like production schedules ramping up or getting episodes any faster, I don't really think this changes anything for me in terms of how quickly the show will come out. 1 season a year is probably still the best we're going to get. But it's good to know that they have given them a little bit more breathing room and time to get these episodes right where they want them to be before they get released. So I don't know. Or they'll just give us 20 episodes in a row. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah. You could be. I could be completely right. We just never know. I know when it comes to Stranger Things, I haven't seen it.
Definitely.
So here.
The
So I was
family
looking.
video.
I wasn't listening to anything you're saying there.
Good.
But what I was looking up, I saw a different image with his name on an arcade machine, which is why I was confused, because when we were pulling together the episode, I remember seeing that image, and it references the Stranger Things thing. So
Is
even
that
in the
season
show,
3? Season 3, they were in an arcade. They
I
haven't been in an arcade at all, as far as I can remember, in season 4.
Oh, I don't know. Stranger Things arcade.
They did go to like a skating rink at one point, so it could have been quick in that scene as well.
Yeah.
Either way.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
Anyway,
we'll
so
handle this on social media.
that's what I was confused. Speaking of social media, I think that is it for our semi-pert party.
That's right.
Let's get on to some listener suggestions and short outs, Travis.
That's right.
The first one we have here is from @Tentronic, asking if we're going to do episodes on the Vindicators and the anime. And to that, we say,
absolutely.
First, you nodded first, and you can't. You have to say something.
Yeah, no, I think it's definite that we're gonna cover these. It's just a matter of when and how, right? So with Vindicators, based on Royland's comment, right, the 10 mini-sode arc, right, of Vindicators may end up being, when it's all said and done, about the length of a long Rick and Morty episode. So my expectation is we would probably wait until all of that is out and then review it in its entirety, right? Review it as like a single episode or a single story arc. If we came out and reviewed like 2 minutes of content, episode by episode, probably not going to be great.
Yeah, maybe, but we can always do like the classic. Excuse you. We can do the classic podcast where we just do a minute for an entire episode.
Yeah.
And then and call it.
And now for our Vindicators mini review. Yeah, I thought that 2 minutes was pretty good. What did you think? Man, that was all right.
Pretty
cool. Good. Next week with a new mini review. As for the anime stuff, yeah, we'll definitely cover that as well. Probably in a special episode for that. It's really going to depend on if actual Rick and Morty episodes come out. because that takes the precedence over
Yeah.
everything else. So thankfully, we have that other content to help supplement either before or after a full-on season is underway.
Let's go over to Facebook/Instagram because Instagram and Facebook are tied together. They're basically the same thing at this
It's
point
so
in time.
meta.
Not a whole lot of comments. Talk to Mia periodically. Talk to old Scary Terry Folds periodically. We did get a note from a person wanting us to model jewelry.
Yeah, that's weird.
And unlike our support from Manscaped.com, this one is not.
Presenting sponsor of this episode, Manscaped.
This one is not. This is. I think this is just spam. This is just spam.
Yeah,
because no one wants me to model jewelry. I got this on my barnyard cruise too.
You want me to show off your rings on these sausage fingers? I don't think so. All right, not a hand model. Not now, not ever.
Speaking of modeling on your sausage fingers, you should really watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. Fantastic movie. Please do yourself.
I need to check it out before our next Apathetic Enthusiasm, most likely. So, if I can tactically acquire it legally. No new reviews, but we do have some questions from the Twitch chat. If you want to be a part of the show and comment along, make sure you're watching live on Twitch. But we did get this question earlier. That was, if you guys were to have kids sometime after the show had debuted, do you think there's any chance one of your children would be named Rick or Morty? Coming in from Have a Good Day Face over on Twitch. Brandon, would you have named a child Rick and or Morty?
No chance.
No, not at all. Yeah, no, I would not have named a kid Rick or Morty. That's way too on the nose, especially for us, because like we have a podcast. It's not like we're subtle, like closet fans of the show that we're like, you know what? I'm going to name my son Rick. And only people that really know me will know that it's named after an inebriated scientist from an adult cartoon. I think the public knows that we're fans of the show and that we know a thing or two about the show. So I don't think naming any of our children would be required on that one, but
it would be like if I wear Better Call Saul shirts everywhere. I have a podcast. Like my everything that I do is just associated with Breaking Bad in that series. And then I have a kid named Saul, and everyone's like, "Yeah, of course you're gonna name your kid Saul, friggin' loser."
Now, on the other hand, my daughter's middle name is Poopy Butthole, so you know, we all express ourselves in different ways.
That's okay. I mean that makes sense. Yeah. No, and like same. I talked about the tattoo earlier of Rick and Morty. There's certain things I have a few tattoos. When I was younger, I thought, I'll get like Simpsons, Futurama, Beavis and Butthead, or like get like animated animation tattoos. And then I really thought back then, I'm like, I don't want that on my body long term. I want some, whatever I'm gonna have, basically scar myself with. I want it to be something that means something to me, or is unique or whatever. And so the whole thing with Sabrina is like, she worked on the show. If I was going to have Rick and Morty, something small Rick and Morty, I would like to have it from somebody who was associated with it, and then it makes it special in that way.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
But as far as like naming my kid Rick or Morty, it's too cute, and it's too on the nose, as you said.
And I'm still waiting for Brian Newton to do the squanchy tattoo on the back of my head. That's any day now. We'll get that worked out.
Well, maybe I'll ask him when I go to his birthday party.
Oh, let's pick up that name right off the floor there while you're at it. Any other short outs? Big thanks to Peace Among Ricks. Have a good day, Face. Anybody else hanging out in the chat? Barnyard Cruise. I don't know who that guy is. Anyway, thanks to everybody for being a part of the show. Thank you for writing. Thank you. We continue to see more and more people liking and following our Facebook pages and things like that. We appreciate all of you that do that. Hopefully our content actually gets to you on those platforms, because Facebook algorithms are a whole other mess that, we make a post and then like 1% of you see it. So thanks to those of you that do get to see that stuff.
I have one more thing, and it is the result of our episode fan concept poll. Woo! All right. So as you recall from our last episode, we had 4 different episode concepts that we came up with. It was Ships All That, about like a car show and then the ship and like getting replaced. Snooch Rich Boardies, which is the Clerks / Mallrats-esque episode. Blackmort Jungle, which is about Rick homeschooling all of the orphaned Mortys out there. And then Rickling for Charismort, which is with all these different Ricks. They're Rickest Ricks. Well, this is charismatic Rick, or
that's right. Outside the central finite curve Rick. That's right.
That's right. And so we put a poll out there on Twitter, and here are the results. Ships All That with 55.6% of the vote, with Rickling for Charismort a close second with 33%. Snooch Rich Boardies got 0% of the vote, and Blackmort Jungle with 11%. So thank you all for voting, humoring us, and if you have any ideas for episodes that you want us to critique and workshop.
Real quick question: did Heather Ann Campbell vote on this poll?
I don't know.
While they're working hard on season 8, maybe getting a few ideas. Maybe just a few.
It doesn't show me who. It just says impressions and how many engagements.
Anyway, if you see any of these show concepts in a future episode of the show, you know where it came from. That's right.
Yeah. And Heather, I listen to your podcast, so I'm just kidding.
Just saying.
If she ever got to this part of the show and she's like, "Yeah, I'm listening to yours now, motherfucker," I'll feel bad for that.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate your support. That will about do it for this episode. If you're listening and you're listening for the first time, if your podcatcher of choice has the ability to rate or review this podcast, if you have not done that already, please do us a favor. Write a review. Leave a rating. We would appreciate it. It helps others find the show as well. And if you're on YouTube, maybe checking this out for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and head over to manscaped.com, 20% off your ball shaping type things. Keep them fresh, keep it clean. Brandon's doing it right now. All right, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, I'm Travis.
And I'm Brandon. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.